break open the jars of our lives and offer the contents, just as the fragrance of that nard filled that entire house, the fragrance of God fills our community and our world. The fragrance of God is not subtle. You know, everybody probably has their own particular scent that they wear. Some of them are very subtle. You can't quite tell. I used to work with a girl that I could smell her before she turned the corner even coming into the office. But the fragrance of God is not subtle. It's filled with rich scents of love, forgiveness, salvation, devotion, transformation, and gratitude. But we must be willing to be broken and spilled out for the fragrance of God to reach this world. Once we've given our lives to Christ and seek to live as a child of God, there's no turning back. It's like trying to put toothpaste back in the tube after you've squirted out too much. You just can't do it. But like Mary, we must be willing to let our whole lives be used up for the love of Christ Jesus. Jesus brought new life into Mary's world of death when he raised her brother. And she was so grateful for this new life that came to her that she gave the very best treasure that she had to honor that new life. Jesus has also brought new life into our world of death also. As we sang earlier, when Christ shall come with trumpet sound, oh, may I then in him be found, dressed in his righteousness alone. I think C.C. Winans in her song, My Alabaster Box, beautifully expresses the gift that we pour out on Jesus' feet when she sings, you weren't there the night he found me. You did not feel the gift of love when he wrapped his arms around me. So you don't know the cost of the oil that's in my alabaster box. We each have our own story. We each have our own personal testimony that's filled with our secrets and our skeletons. And they were all there before Jesus came and wrapped us in his loving embrace and called us his own. And only Jesus knows and appreciates the value of the oil that is inside each of our alabaster boxes. But you know, entwined among all those boxes is the common thread of love. God's great love for us and our love for him. It's not important for me to know what the formula is for the oil that's inside of you, nor is it even remotely important for you to know the formula for the oil that's inside of my alabaster box. God knows the formula. And that's all that's important. It only seems fitting that as we march steadily towards Calvary in our Lenten journey this year, having considered temptation and choices, crisis and comfort, God's patience with us, and his no strings attached forgiveness, that we end up on the doorstep of love. Knowing the boundary-breaking news of God's grace and the lengths that he will go to in order to set us free to choose his love and his forgiveness. demands a response from each and every one of us. Are we willing to allow ourselves to be broken and poured out in love for Christ? In just a few short days, we're going to see how our Savior allowed himself to be broken and poured out in love on a cross for each and every one of us. And my friends, that kind of sacrifice requires a response. You can say it doesn't mean a thing to me, and you can leave that pretty little box sitting on your shelf if you want to. Or you can allow it to be broken open and poured out in love. Is today the day that we're willing to take our expensive and beloved alabaster box off the shelf, break it open, and pour it on the feet of Jesus? How extravagant are we willing to be to express our love for what Jesus has done for us? Are we willing to throw off restraint, go beyond reason, go beyond necessity, and show our love for the one who gave his all for us? My vote, let's be extravagant today. Amen.
Amen.